channel. So today I have a Valentine's Day DIY video for you guys. In my last Valentine's Day video, I promised you guys if I could get that video to 5,000 thumbs up, which we did, I would do more of like a neutral farmhouse decor video. So I would say this more so leans toward just neutral. I think maybe I want to try like a straight up farmhouse type of Valentine's Day video. So if you want to see that, if we could get this video to 5,000 thumbs up, I'll try attempting that for you guys. It's more toned down colors. I've said it before, when it comes to Valentine's Day, I'm not the biggest fan of the color. Like, I don't really like the red and the pink. It's just a lot to me. So I like more toned down versions of it, whether it be a more toned down pink and red, or, you know, incorporating more neutral colors. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Again, if we get this one to 5,000 thumbs up, I'll do more of like just straight up farmhouse decor Valentine's DIYs. Also, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and click the bell button so you'll be notified every single time that I upload. I do lots of Dollar Tree DIY videos, just like bargain crafting. Yeah, okay, I suck at describing what this channel is. Anyways, let's begin the video. Let's start with this heart wreath image. From Dollar Tree, you want to pick up some of their picture frames. I'm using these 4x7 picture frames that have a wooden appearance around the frame. What you'll do is take the contents out of the frame, and then you want to get a piece of cardstock. Dollar Tree does carry these in an activity pad that has a wooden appearance. I got this sheet from Michael's. It cost me around 30 cents. I had gotten it on sale. Like I said, Dollar Tree carries it, and it's already at the perfect size if you can find it at Dollar Tree. Since mine isn't the perfect size, I had to take the back of a picture frame, trace around it a bunch of little pieces, and then cut them out. After I had everything cut out, I go ahead and I place that paper inside of the picture frame, and then place the contents that were already in the picture frame back inside of there. So there's that glass backing and the backing of the picture frame in there as well. Because my plan is to hang this, I took off the little stand that's on the back of the frame. Now I'm gluing all of my picture frames together. I ended up using 9 total. It's up to you how many you want to use. I used a hot glue gun to do this. You'll be okay with using a hot glue gun as long as you put a backing. I'm using popsicle sticks for my backing. I have found such good luck doing it this way rather than using the foam board. When you use the foam board from Dollar Tree and you put that on the back of all of the frames, you no longer have a way to hang it up without using command strips. This way I'm still able to use the hook that's on the back or the little edging in the frame to hang it up rather than just using command strips. So what I do is I just glue a popsicle stick wherever 2 picture frames meet. And this still makes it very sturdy, keeps it all together. But like I said, I'm able to use the little like hanging thing that's on the back of the frame to hang on a nail. Now for the wreath, I am using this pink foam wreath from Dollar Tree. They have it in red as well. Now I'm going to be gluing moss on top of this, so I paint the entire wreath green first. That way, if I miss any spots on the wreath where I didn't cover it with moss, that weird pink color won't be showing through and it throws the entire thing off. I highly suggest painting your wreath green first, because like I said, it looks really funny if you have the green moss on top of the wreath and then there's glittery pink showing through. It just doesn't look right. Now I'm going to be gluing some moss to the wreath. Before I glue on the moss, I take a scissor and I cut it so that it's very fine pieces of moss. I have an easier time getting it to attach to the wreath this way, and an easier time making sure I cover more of the wreath this way, just because it's very fine pieces. If I just put like the longer pieces directly onto the wreath, I feel like I don't cover as much. You don't have to cut it all down if you don't want to, but trust me, it's easier to do it that way. Now once you have your entire wreath covered in moss, you can then attach it to the frames. I'm gluing it on. You can probably get a command strip and put it on that way, but I just decided to glue it on. Once I have my wreath glued down, I am finished with my window pane looking thing with a heart wreath on it. Anyways, moving on to this heart topiary. Now from Dollar Tree, I picked up these moss sheets. I am going to be using 2 of them to create the top part. So I take one sheet and I trace a heart on top of it. I cut out the heart, and then I trace a heart on top of another sheet and cut out that heart. So I have 2 hearts from the moss sheets. Now the stick I'm going to be using to hold the topiary together is actually pieces of a picture frame I broke apart. I take the 2 longer pieces of the picture frame and I glue them together.
I then glue them to the back of one of those hearts that I cut out of the foam mats. And then I attach the other heart so that there's a heart on the front and the heart on the back of the sticks. At first, I was just going to keep that bottom base like that, but then I decided to take the 2 smaller pieces from the picture frame that I just broke up and glue them to the sides of the stick that I just made. Dollar Tree does carry wooden dowels that you can use, but I just thought this looked better. Now, to hold my heart-shaped topiary, I'm going to be using this galvanized bucket from Dollar Tree that says flowers and garden. Then you're going to need a piece of floral foam or styrofoam, and you're going to place that at the bottom of the bucket. I went ahead and added some glue to the bottom of my piece of styrofoam just so it wouldn't move around. I then placed the topiary inside of the bucket. Now I wanted to add some weight to this, so I put in some of the Dollar Tree rocks just because, like I said, I wanted weight to it so it wouldn't be easy to knock over, and I just used 1 bag of those rocks. And then I just covered the top with some more moss, and then I'm done with my topiary. I really think this one is cute. I would like it to be a little bit puffier next time, like maybe put some moss in between the 2 sheets of moss, so it's a little bit more fluffy, but hey, it's still really cute. Now moving on to this love word decor. Dollar Tree right now carries these little love signs, and they're unfinished, so you can go ahead and paint them whatever color you want. So I'm going to be using 3 of them, and I glued all 3 together. I wanted a thickness to them because I figured if I just used 1 of them that it would keep falling over on me. So I wanted it to be a thickness so that it wouldn't fall over easily. Now I go ahead and painted using some white chalk paint. You can paint it whatever color you want. I just thought that the white chalk paint would look really nice with this. I'm going to be using the moss sheets again for this. Now what I do is I trace that O on top of the back of one of the moss sheets, and then I cut it out. I then glue that onto the O, and it looks really cute. I am in love with the moss sheets Dollar Tree got in. It's way easier to use than just using the moss on its own. You can always use the moss on its own if you can't find the moss sheets. It's just easier when you have the moss sheet. When I cut out that O, I do have leftover moss sheet. I trim it so I have like little slivers that I decided to glue on the bottom of this love sign and then the bottom front of it, so it just looks like it's lying on a piece of grass. And I think it's really, really cute this way. Like, this reminds me of something you can get in the Target spot section. After I glued down that moss, I am finished with this love sign. It's really nice, this one. Now moving on to this little love garden. That's what I'll call it. From Dollar Tree, I'm going to be using 1 piece of their white foam board. Now what I do is I trace out an L, O, V, and E onto my foam board. And I kind of measure it out so they're all kind of even. It's not perfect. I was trying to make them each about 2 inches wide. Once I have the letters all traced out how I want them to look, I then take a razor and I go ahead and cut through that foam board so I can get the shapes out of it. The razor I'm actually using is from Dollar Tree. Now I go ahead and I do that twice, so I have 2 L's, 2 O's, 2 V's, and 2 E's. Then I take the 2 pieces of each letter and I glue them together so I have, 1 thicker L, 1 thicker O, 1 thicker V, 1 thicker E. And for the moss, you guessed it, I'm using the moss sheets again. I take those letters and I trace them on the back of a piece of moss sheet. Remember, you have to trace out the letters twice because you'll need the moss for the front and the back. And then the leftover pieces of moss, you want to keep those because you want to place them around the sides of your letters, the top and the bottom of the letters. You can always use the loose moss, the kind you buy in the bag if you want to, but it's real easy to do it with the moss sheets. And that way you don't have to paint the foam board green because the entire thing is getting covered right off the back with the moss sheets. You will lose moss with the moss sheets because when you cut into them, it's loose pieces that start to fall off, so you might have to glue them again to your moss sheets. It just kind of depends. I didn't have to do too much gluing, but I did have to do gluing. Now that I have my letters finished, I'm going to be taking these wooden dowels from Dollar Tree and I'm gluing them to the very bottom of each letter, trying to center it as best as I can. You can push those dowels into the foam board with your hot glue. The hot glue will melt the foam board a bit so that you get a good base. It's not going to melt it entirely so you can stick the dowel like really deep into it, but just enough so you have something to work with. Once the glue dries, I suggest putting more glue around the dowel where it meets the foam board to really keep it secured there. And then you can put some moss at the bottom of your letters just so that white foam board isn't showing. Now I'll be taking some floral foam. You can use styrofoam too. I just had floral foam on hand. And I'm cutting it down so that it fits inside of these little pots from Dollar Tree, these floral pots. They have like a bunch of different sizes. This one comes with 2 in a pack, so it's more like their medium size that they carry. So I cut that foam down and I put it inside of all of the pots that I had, and of course I'm using 4 of them. After I have my foam inside of the pots, I then start to put the letters inside of there, and I try to get it right on the money in the center, because the more holes you poke inside of your floral foam, the more easy that the letters are going to fall over on you because you're creating too many holes. Once I have all of my letters inside, I then place some moss on the bottom of there. And I'm just using the moss that fell off of the sheets. I didn't use any moss from the bags that I had. I just literally used what fell off of the sheets. For all of these DIYs, I only used 1 bag of moss. I didn't even use the entire bag. And then I used 5 sheets of the moss sheets. So that is it for these Dollar Tree neutral Valentine's Day DIYs. I think they're really nice. They kind of do remind me of spring, but by the time Valentine's Day comes around, what is it, like under 2 months until spring? So hey, I still think it's nice. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.